Hello guys, it's your boy Jeremiah The Revelous. Here's a new day, it's a new review. Don't forget to subscribe to your boy for movie reviews. And today I'm going to be reviewing James Gunn's Superman. So James Gunn's Superman is the new and first movie of the new DCU universe. And you know, when I first heard they were going to revamp everything, I ain't gonna lie, I was bummed out about it. I was. Because I love Man of Steel. Is probably one of my favorite Superman movies. That's right, I would die on the hill alone. I don't care because I really enjoyed that Superman. But you know the funny thing is, I have enjoyed pretty much every single version of Superman. Like when it comes to TV series, movies, you know, I love Christopher Reeves. You know, I loved Dean Cain from Lois and Clark. Like I love the guy from Smallville, and also the guy that played Superman recently in Superman Lois. I felt like each person that played Superman did an amazing job. You know, when it comes to Superman, I just don't go out and say just who can play Superman and can they balance Superman Clark Kent. No, I go for more of an ensemble cast. Like who can play the Kents? Because I love the Kents. Like my favorite Kents were from Lois and Clark, you know what I'm saying? Or from Smallville, you know what I'm saying? I loved his parents, you know, and then also his Kryptonian parents. Like who could play his Kryptonian parents? Like in the, you know, Man of Steel, like Russell Crowe was great as Jor-El. Like I loved Russell Crowe as Jor-El, and also in Christopher Reeves, his father. I loved him as Jor-El in that one as well. So like I look for that, and I was like, who could play Jimmy, and who could play Perry White, and who could play Lois. That's what I'm looking for, and who could play a good Lex Luthor or a good villain. You know what I'm saying? Those are the key elements to me of what I look for in a Superman. Now, did James Gunn's Superman hit all those boxes for me? Yes, and also no. Let's get on to the good parts though. I did enjoy this movie. I thought this movie was fun. You know, it made me look like I was reading a comic book page by page. Like, I gotta give it to David Corenswet. He did an amazing job as Superman. Like, he did a great job as Superman. Like, he was very relatable. You know, he looked like Clark Kent. He looked like Superman. You know, the personality, straight up dead on. James Gunn did an amazing job. Because what James Gunn did was he took today, this era, and he placed how will Superman react and feel about this era? Like social media, like the crap and the wars that are going on today. And he did it spot on. It was very relatable. It was super relatable. Get it? Super. Because when I was younger, and I watched like Christopher Reeves or Dean Cain, I felt like how they felt. Like, you know, when it comes to views and stuff like that, I felt exactly how they felt. And as I got older, you know, when you got, you know, Henry Cavill and you got David Corenswet Superman, is exactly how I feel. If I was Superman, this is exactly how I will feel. Straight up to the T. And it was very relatable, and I really enjoyed that. And I really enjoyed how they based this world. Like, you know, they got superheroes already, and this is more like fantastical than reality, which was fun. It was cool, you know, like I love the Justice League, you know, especially Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. That was perfect casting. That man is Guy Gardner. Like, he's Guy Gardner. Like, that was perfect casting. I liked him. You know, I liked everybody. You know, Mr. Terrific, and, you know, and the girl that plays Hawk Girl, you know, she was Dora the Explorer. You saw her was in The Last of Us as well. And she did a good job. I'm glad they didn't put too much of them in it, because even though I wanted more of them so I could get to know them more, but I didn't want to lose the feeling that I'm watching Superman. And I'm glad they didn't put too much of them in it. And I love the action, especially when Superman flies. You know, you felt like you're flying with Superman. Crypto was fun. You know, it was cool to see Crypto for once, because I think the only time you see Crypto in anything is in Smallville, or the animated series. I just love to see. It was fun to see Crypto. I love the fortress. How they hit the fortress from everybody because throughout all iterations, the fortress is in the middle of like the Antarctics and like nobody has ever found it. You know what I'm saying? I just like how they deal with that. And the robots that serve as Superman, and like how Superman is also vulnerable at times. I liked all those aspects of the film. They had some great moments in the film. But when it comes down to the stuff I don't like, I didn't really like now. It's not like I didn't like it, it's just I wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? When it came to the Kents, I was not feeling the Kents at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they weren't like the Kents from like Smallville, Lois and Clark. I love the Kents there. Like the same with Jimmy. Like I didn't really care for this Jimmy. I could go to every iteration of Jimmy in any movie or any show, and I enjoy each and every one of the Jimmys except for this one. I just wasn't feeling his part. Same with Perry White. I just wasn't feeling his role, compared to like Man of Steel or like Lois and Clark or like, and all the other versions of Perry White. Like, I like the other versions of Perry White more than I did this one. And Lois, it was a hit and miss for me. But the actress that got Lois, she did a really good job with Superman. When they're together, especially that one scene where she's interviewing him, that was an amazing scene. That was a great scene. And that was the most relatable scene I could say in a comic book film. That was great. When they were together, they were great. But I felt like when she was outside that realm, I didn't feel the Lois like I felt with in the other series. Because my favorite Lois is always going to be the Lois from Lois and Clark. I just love that Lois. And I enjoyed pretty much every single Lois throughout Man of Steel and the rest. But this Lois, I wish they had more of her. I guess I wish they had her do more. Because to me, Lois is a very important key, very important character. So I really wish they did more with Lois. But when it comes to Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult was great. Nicholas Hoult did a really good job as Lex Luthor. You hate him, and that's the point. He is a dick. He is a douchebag. Like, the dude is horrible. Like, you cannot stand him. But Nicholas Hoult did a great job playing him. And also, I like that what James Gunn did with this Lex Luthor. He made it where he is that Lex Luthor as how he would be today. As how he would act today. He's all the assholes and the corporate people that you don't like and social media trolls that you don't like. This is the embodiment of him. And I did like that. That was like, exactly how things are in these days. I enjoy that. And him hating Superman, his reasons behind of hating Superman, it's just the reasoning behind how everybody hates each other for dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? It was spot on, and it was great, and I did enjoy that. But overall, it was good. It was a good movie, but it did have flaws. You know what I'm saying? And what did I rate it? Is it a love, or is it a hate, or is it something in between? I had a hard time rating this film because it was on like a borderline. It was either on the real for real or a swag. But right now, how I'm feeling right now, I got to give it a swag. That's why I give it a swag. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. Corenswet, he did a great job as Superman. The whole visuals and the action and the whole like story was exactly what I wanted in a Superman. But my only problems was the ensemble of, I didn't feel the Kents. I wasn't feeling Lois too much. I wasn't feeling Perry White's character too much, or Jimmy's character. Like, those took me out of the movie. And one thing I gotta say that took me out the movie. I think I'm getting tired of the silliness in all the comic book movies now. Don't get me wrong, I like silliness, and I like silliness in my comic book movies at times, but I feel like every single comic books movie is trying to hit like it has to be something like Deadpool, or it has to be something like Guardians. And I miss the days where you could keep characters silly, throw a little bit of natural humor, but still keep the tone balanced, than things being too silly. And I found that it was a little bit too silly for me. With Deadpool, you need that silliness to be great. And same with Guardians, and same with other characters. But when it comes to Superman, or when it comes to Batman, I find it just throwing natural comedy into it is better, but hints of it is better than making it silly. Because I understand you want to make it comic booky, you want to make it comic, because it's a comic book movie, I get it. But at the same time, I think they really need to tone down with the silliness. To be completely honest with you, maybe I'm the only one that feels like that, but that's how I feel. That's just how I feel. But I understand that it works for other people. Like, I can understand why people love this movie so much. Like, they put in their top comic books. I could completely understand, why they do. But overall, I thought it was a fun movie. I advise you check it out. If you're a Superman movie, comic book movie, DC fan, like, I advise you check it out. You're gonna have a good time no matter what. And I want this movie to succeed. I want this to be successful, because I am looking forward for the next installments, because I think when I give it like another try, if I watch it again or give it a sequel, I think I'm going to be a lot more on board than I am now. But overall, I think this movie was cool. So like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you thought about Superman. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or something in between? Let me know. Let me know what's your favorite Superman or Superman movie or animated movie. Let me know in the comment section. Mine, I love Man of Steel. I'm a huge Lois and Clark fan. I am a huge, Smallville fan. Like, I enjoy pretty much all the Superman movies. But let me know in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get 500 subscribers. Help a boy out. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you when I see you. Peace.